What's up, by tribe? It's Goodvibes Cosentino. I'm dropping in on YouTube because I haven't in a while. So Bobby is sick, so I am not on today because I'm dealing with a sick child. He's okay though. He has bad asthma. Um, so I was thinking, what is like one of your favorite memories of your loved ones? I want to know. I'm sitting here thinking today, and me and mom had the doctors today, earlier today, and she calls me and she's like, my house is swarmed with cops. And I'm like, what? So, because we only live 5 houses down from each other, I can go in my backyard and see everything. And it literally blocked off her house. There was about 7 to 8 cop cars, and she's like freaking out. And we have post traumatic stress disorder from Lukey, so it's like this, even though it has nothing to do with us. So I go there, and they had this young man pulled over and had him like taking stuff out of the vehicle. And we're like, what's going on? And because I could be a little bit nosy. Shut up, David. um, a little bit nosy, and I'm watching him just to make sure everything's okay, for him. And he's just throwing stuff out of his vehicle, and I'm going, I don't understand. And mom's like, well, maybe he needed it repoed. I'm like, that why would they need all these cop cars for this right now? I don't get it. And so I went back home and got ready for the doctors, and then picked her up, and he was still standing there. His car was repoed, and I come back inside. I said, the repo car's there, and she's like, well, sometimes if there's a rental, they'll call it stolen, or they'll do something. I'm like, look, if it was stolen, he would have been in that back of that car at the moment, like an hour ago later. So I'm like, yeah, I know. She goes, it's cold outside, I feel bad. And I was like, yeah, well, his belongings from his vehicle's out there, and there's 2 cop cars only there now. And so mommy goes outside, and she comes back in, and she's like, they said the car was stolen, and from a rental car place. And I'm like, oh, it's known from that, especially because mom watches Judge Judy and Judge Millian. I said that right. There's so many of those disputes on there. Meanwhile, he had the paperwork, he had all of that, and I'm like, there's no way he would be in the back of that car at the moment. So, being who we are, mom's like texting my stepfather, like, he's got to go like pretty far. Could you do it? He's like, I'm not doing anything. So me and mommy go out there, and we go to him. There's 2 cops, mind you. We go out to him, and we're like, look, you need a ride to West Charlotte, because he told mom earlier when she went out the first time, and he's like looking at us like, why are they helping? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, my husband's gonna take you, so let's grab your stuff, we'll put it in my husband's trunk. And he's like, I can't thank you enough. And what he was doing is he helps people with their vehicles, and I guess it's like different contracts that he does, and this has happened to him before also. And he helps people like all around the United States. And so I said, well, consider this somebody helping you back. And I really believe in karma and how everything happens that way, and pay it forward, and all that. And he's like, me too. And mom was like, let me ask you, when you were stranded last time, did somebody help you? And he's like, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm gonna be very honest, somebody did help me. And so we were talking, and he was such a nice young man. And I said, there's no reason for those cops to be like, you're lurking at you. So as we're picking up his belongings, mom was like, hey, to one of the cops, she's like, why are you smiling like that? What are you smirking at? And he's like, nothing, I'm just smiling. And I'm like, because we're helping him, I'm not sure what's going on. He might think we're crazy. I don't know. So the cops, I said, no, you got a big laugh on your smile. You got a big laugh going on. And he's like, well, now that you're saying it, I'm going to laugh. So we're helping him lug all these things. And you can tell this kid, he had his own business. He was doing everything right. And he's like, I couldn't believe what happened. Like, I'm pulling out of my client's down the road's house, and I'm going, are they following me? I think they're following me. So I said, I would have freaked. Like, I said, I was nervous from you. I said, I was watching out the window just to make sure everything's okay. Because something's, everybody's high tension. So, um, I understand both sides completely. And he was like, I was telling him, I was in a Kia. I have Lamborghini keys in this. If I really want to do something, I would have just stole that and went to jail for that. Not for a Kia. That's embarrassing. So he was making a joke out of it. And, just that little bit of helping goes so far, just goes so far. And, me and mom were talking in the car, which I got her out for the doctors, but she got out a little bit today. And it goes really far when you just help somebody in general, and it's not for kicks or, good karma. It's just our nature to do that. And I've done this before also. I've have many stories that I have done. And it made us think of Lukey, like how many times, or that's like Lukey standing in the road with all his stuff out of the vehicle, even though he didn't have a license because mom told him he could never have a license. That's a ton of other stories. But it was very kind, and that's the way that I was raised. Is you just see something and you know what's right, and if you have that opportunity, you do it. And so he was so grateful. He's like, give me your number. If you ever need anything, please call me. Call me first. I mean, he just was so blessed. And he was like all shaky, and I was shaky for him. I was freaking out. I was like, the whole house was swarmed by vehicles. And, I was giving my husband the play-by-play, and he's like, are you serious right now? I'm like, no, you know how we are. No, he got a ride. We had jokes though, like my stepfather, like, oh, watch him not come back. We were just joking. But to top it off, my stepfather, he he has an oxygen mask that he has to wear 24/7. So the kid gets in the car, my stepfather gets in the car, and he's like waving me down before I ride away. And I'm like, oh no. He's like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. The kid gets out of the car, like, I didn't touch him. I didn't touch him. And I'm like, no, no, no. This is what 9/11 does to people. And he's like, oh my God. He like freaked out, and Butch needed to catch his breath because that happens. So he gets back in, and Butch is like, it's okay, I'm not contagious or anything. But the way he was like, I didn't touch him, it was pretty comical. But thinking of that and thinking, my brother has a good friend that he met in rehab, the rehab that actually stuck. And his name is Tyler. And Luke was so worried about him when Tyler left the rehab, and that's all you would hear. My brother became the manager of the house, and I was doing dishes and laundry. I didn't know who this kid was because Luke was not about that. And he was sad when Tyler left, and he heard that he wasn't doing good, and he got very depressed there for a little bit. And he was on the phone, and he was expressing how he missed him so much, and Tyler walks in the rehab, like the home. And he's like, oh my God, I gotta go. Tyler just walked in. And no kidding, Tyler named his first son my brother's name, Luke. And he told Luke when his wife was pregnant, I want you to be the godfather. And Luke, of course, passed away 3 months. No. Luke passed away 3 years before. 3 years before. Luke passed away 3 months before he was supposed to go down and meet his wife. And they already were talking about kids because they just got married and whatnot. And he said, I want you to be the godfather when we have a child. So Luke did not get to make that trip. But by Tyler naming his firstborn son after my brother means so much to me. And again, it's just that love, how much our loved ones make a footprint in everybody's heart, So I just wanted to check in and see What is a good memory that you will have of your loved ones? Don't go too in depth just in case I haven't read you yet. No, I'm kidding. You guys know I'll go way above and beyond anyways, but I just want to hear all something funny because I have a lot of funny ones too. Some that will be like, what? What? But I did want to let you guys know that. So if you want to drop a comment, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that bell at the top so when you get notifications that I do go live or post a video. As you all know, my lives are always uploaded to YouTube. Also, my website, it's automatically on my website as well. So go ahead and start commenting now so I can go back and forth with you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night. Good morning, good afternoon. You all know I'll see you Friday. I'll tap in here and there before Friday as always. So much love, guys.